Tampa Bay Rowdies again in the season after facing them earlier this season. How do you assess the team's mindset going into this match?
Yeah, look, it's a tough week for both teams, right? They played last night. We played Tuesday night with travel, 3 games in a week. So preparation for both teams will be off. But I think the interesting thing is, like, both teams know each other very well. Obviously, there's a rivalry, over the last at least 4 or 5 games that we've played them. Both teams just go for it, and it's entertaining. I think both sets of fans get a good value for their money, but it makes the games a little bit wide open. It makes the games difficult to predict. So we need to make sure we have fresh legs. We need to make sure that we're working as hard as possible. They're going to be doing the same thing. They'll make sure that they're physically and mentally ready. So the mindset's about making sure that we're going a business trip, fight for all 3 points, knowing that our opponent is talented, knowing that they'll be playing about as hard as a team can possibly play. In a very difficult place to play. So difficult game, but we enjoy the group that we have, and we enjoy being able to go down there and have this opportunity.
You played them about 2 months ago. It was your 4th game of the season. There's been a lot of adjustments and improvements since then. What have you seen really grow from the team since that first matchup against them?
I think probably just slight improvements in all the phases, right? We've gotten a little bit healthier in the attack. Obviously, in the defense, we've gotten more banged up, but we've improved our team defending over the last 4 or 5 days. Had a good performance defensively and with possession against DC, but didn't create as many chances. So we've got to be a little bit more thorough, and then with some attacking players coming back, finding good combinations, good movements, good areas where we could try to exploit our opponent. So. We want to be intense out of possession and accountable, and then in possession we want to be selfless. We want to move the ball and be courageous. But Tampa's going to be doing the same thing. They've got very good players. They're very good in the attacking moments, getting their players around the edges and finding those central combinations. And they've got a lot of experience and good goalkeeper at the back. So I think it'll be a tough game. Obviously, on the road gives them a little bit of favor, but hopefully we can do some things to tick it over for ourselves.
We have a new player into the mix this time. Can you talk a bit about Michael Edwards and how crucial it is for him to be a true center back in the lineup, especially now?
Yeah, I mean, look, we went to Naples and had about as bad a day as you possibly can, not just from the result, but, Leland going down, Nate Dos Santos going down, and Graham was already injured. So 3 of your 4 center backs are out. Malloy had to do it for half a game or 90% of a game against Hartford, and we're getting Segbers back and see what we can get out of Nate Dos Santos. But Michael's been great addition, like you said, just a pure center back. He brings experience, he brings athleticism, he brings physicality. He likes to defend, which is what you want out of your defender. So he and Joey did a very good game in DC, and we have outside back options as well. So part of it is getting fit, part of it is getting healthy, and part of it's those connections and getting used to each other. But the staff, TD, Devin, they did a great job getting them ready. And then Mikey stepped in, and he and Joey did a great job straight away performing at the center back.
This game marks the midpoint of a busy stretch, 3 games in 8 days. How are you managing the player workload and recovery?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many changes we made the other night. Obviously we got fatigued at the end of the game. So with the travel and with the games, it's tough. We have a very good backroom staff, good support staff. Eric and Bobby do a great job. The support we have from the community as well through MUSC and Restore do a tremendous job helping our guys. And then the boys get after it. They make sure mentally and physically. So, look, it happens. You play 3 games in a week all over the world all the time. That's where the roster comes in and the quality comes in. So whether that's come off the bench, attackers, defenders, midfield players, everybody just has to be ready because it's going to be a very tough game on Saturday, and everybody's got to go full tilt.
Last one for you, kind of looking at our opponent. They had a coaching change since the last time we saw them. How does the current and recent Rowdies kind of compare and contrast to what we saw in April? They've had the new coach for long enough where they've got their identity down. They themselves are getting fitter with guys coming back, and guys played last night in the Cup. So they'll have a closer to a full complement of the group, and guys that know what the coach wants to get done. But you know, they're an experienced team. They're a big club. They've been successful for many, many years. You know, the coach will have them ready to go. He'll be very clear with what he wants to get done. So then it goes back to us. We need to perform. We need to make sure we're animals with our work ethic. We got to make sure that we're moving the ball, and we have to be willing to suffer in and out of possession. And I think it'll be a back and forth game, and we just have to hope things tilt in our way.